Here is the high tunnel I was talking about earlier. It's actually a kit that you can buy. I believe you can buy it in the States as well. It's just a regular, I believe it's a woven plastic. Why I say woven is because you can see it has the, where's my finger? It has the little squares, so it's pretty much reinforced. The plastic is a little bit stronger. This kit lasts naturally about 3 years. So this tunnel is at the end of its life, as you can see right about there. There's a little post sticking out of the plastic, but it's still holding up pretty good. Fingers crossed. This kit, actually, I did some modifications because naturally it just comes with the plastic and the frame, which is a really good frame. The other greenhouse, the other tunnel that I have on the other side of this one, on that side over there, it got torn up. The plastic got torn up by a storm we had around 2 years ago, and I replaced it with just regular greenhouse plastic and just stretched it right over the frame. So it's pretty good. It has pretty good value, the whole kit, because even if the plastic is torn up, you can replace it. And also times two, you can buy the plastic, just the plastic to repair the kit, the greenhouse. You don't have to buy the frame over again. But like most things, the value of that and the price is increasing, so it's a little bit pricey. It's a little bit more pricey than it was before when I first bought these two greenhouses that you'll see. This greenhouse right here, as I was trying to say, it just came with the plastic and the frame. But here where we live with the strong winds, it'll just rip up the whole greenhouse and have it flying back to the northern hemisphere probably. So what I did was, when I put the whole frame of the greenhouse down, before I put the plastic, I would go and just put the frame down wherever I want the greenhouse to go and dig down around the greenhouse. I'll show you the whole process here. It's pretty well enforced with grass along the side and everything, holding everything in. But all along the greenhouse, I dug a trench. So it's a little trench about from the plastic, where the plastic is right here, to about right here, about, let's say, a foot, exactly about a foot wide. That little trench, dug the dirt, put it to the side, that side, and all along the frame, I put post. About, let's say, it looked like around 10 foot spacing of posts, little small posts. And the posts are down in the ground about around 3 feet, I think. It's not too deep. So these posts, I have one here, another one here, another one here, in that order, all along the frame. And those posts, what I did was, I tied the frame, this part right here, I tied the frame of the greenhouse onto the post, so the frame won't move. And also the post, that's on the outside of the post. You might be able to see right down here. That's it's a board. You have to bear with me. A lot of words. I speak Spanish most of the time, so a lot of the words I'm thinking in Spanish and trying to remember in English. So that's the the slowness of speech that I have right now. But these boards here, I just nailed it onto the post that I put in the ground. So the post is tied, the frame of the greenhouse. The frame of the greenhouse is tied to the post. And then also the boards are nailed to the post on the outside. So with that, the whole frame is secured to the post, and the posts are secured to the boards along the whole frame. Then I made that's pretty, what you would say a door frame right there, and just a regular arch going there, there, there. After the arch is done, these are 2 posts in the ground, and those 2 posts are around, I would say, about 1 meter down into the ground. These 2 posts, and then connected at the top by another post that is nailed together, screwed together, however you want to do it. And the top post right there is secured to the frame with a wire. I drilled a hole through the post and connected it with a wire to the frame of the greenhouse. Here we're gonna look inside the greenhouse here. It's a mess. I haven't started anything in here yet. So as you can see, it's a pretty good sized greenhouse. This is the biggest greenhouse size that they have. So as you can see a lot more clearly all of the little posts that I have inside, all along the length of the greenhouse. And the boards also, you can understand it a lot better from inside. You can see it better. The post that I was talking about, and then the boards. And as much as I could, I tried to secure the posts to the frame with wire tied together, as you can see right there. And then in the middle of the greenhouse, because it's a pretty long greenhouse, so I put a post right in the middle to secure it. That way the greenhouse, any wobbling it will do from side to side, it should secure it a little bit better. And then of course at the top, you can see it's secured with more wire. Holes drilled, the wire put through the holes, wrapped around to secure the frame. And the frame is pretty sturdy, it's not going anywhere. And the door frames, it's just this simple. Like I said, 2 posts in the ground, secured by the smaller post on the top, nailed together. And then after all of that's together, the frame with the posts and the boards nailed all together, then I put the plastic over. Only after that is done, I put the plastic over, stretch it, and then I nail the plastic to the boards on the outside. The plastic is on the outside, of course, of the board, as you can see right there. I nail it to the boards, and then I put the dirt over that. And I try to nail the plastic on so it doesn't rip. The nails don't rip, or staples or whatever you're using doesn't rip out the plastic over time. So after the boards and the posts are in the ground and everything is nailed onto each other and wired on, secured with wires, only after all of that I go and put the plastic on to the outside of the boards, nail it or staple it on, and I use a type of cushion, a padding, whether it be carpet, whether it be, you wouldn't use cardboard, that would disintegrate, of course, but you would use any type of carpet type of material that would be pretty long lasting. I would put it on the board, and then I would go and put the carpet over the plastic, the plastic over the carpet over the plastic, and nail it onto the board so that it doesn't rip it out too much. Just more precaution. And the carpet that I'm talking about is some type of cushioning like this. As you can see, wherever the plastic was going to be touching the frame and the wires and everything that I put here, I put some type of cushioning, that way it doesn't wear a hole in the plastic. And as you can see, it worked pretty well because it's still sturdy and it doesn't have any abrasive marks or any holes right there. So that's just more precautions to have, that way you can have your greenhouse last as long as it can. And then of course the frame, the door frame, like I said, just 2 posts in the ground, a regular door frame, and then I actually make a door right there, frame up a little type of door, and attach it to the door frame with hinges, just regular hinges, door hinges. And then after all of that, that's when I go and put on the plastic. The plastic is put on top of the whole greenhouse frame with the doors, the door hinges already installed, everything installed, so that way when you have the plastic, you just can secure the plastic all into the frame, to the door frame, to the post, to the boards on the whole greenhouse. And then after that, I cut out the plastic right around the door, so it just opens up freely. So pretty much that's just how it works. Why I put the door frame and the door into the greenhouse is because they gave you the option of having, let me see if I can find it. They gave you the option yeah, this one only has one door. This is the door that it comes with. It's just a zipper. And over time, those zippers will wear out and the door won't close. So then you won't have a greenhouse. It'll just be a plastic frame with a door that just flaps open, and you won't be able to keep any heat in. So it's best to not use that door, if you possibly can, to actually put a door that you can actually close some type of way. So that's how that works. In this big greenhouse, this past season I had a type of pepper that was growing out. I thought it was a sweet pepper. Come to find out, it's a type of paprika. So it's kind of spicy, but those are the plants that you can see that died back. And then I planted some arugula for winter, and just pretty much let this whole part of the greenhouse just go. So around now is when I'm going to clean up the greenhouse, and you'll see that process and get everything ready to plant. Have this whole greenhouse planted for this coming season. 1 year also too, that's why you can see all of the little strings hanging. I put this all here for a trellis for tomatoes. I had it full of cherry tomatoes in here, but I'm not going to grow cherry tomatoes in here. I might grow cherry tomatoes in here, but I won't grow nearly as much. It won't be full of cherry tomatoes. I'm gonna have a lot of different things in here growing this year. So that's the big greenhouse here. And that's the gladiolas that I have been digging out. We have about a few buckets of gladiolas that is just full of bulbs. Pretty good sized bulbs. Different colors of gladiolus. And little seeds right there that hopefully I will plant in another area so they can grow up bigger, and then we can have more bulbs. This is the mini nursery. All of this right here is primarily for trees, perennials, and the like, to be able to have planted in the property that we are wanting to buy. There's all sorts of fruit trees, nitrogen fixing trees, nut trees, artichokes, different perennials, lots of good stuff here. And these are all about 2 years old, some 3, some more. So they need a new home, and that's what we'll be working for, to get all of this planted in the ground in another place. Lots of work to do here. And I have no problem with it. I'm looking forward to it, so. That's a mulberry. Different types of mulberries. Lots of different things. In here, this is the baby house, you could say. It's the propagation house. This is the small greenhouse. And it's all for propagating different things. There's ginger that died back. Right next to that, tobacco. Right next to that, a type of Asian green. Actually, it's called tatsoi. I'm pretty much saving it from extinction, at least on our property, in our household. I grew it for a few years, and then I stopped growing it, and I planted it again, and I only got around 3 plants that survived, so the seed was about to die out. And now, because I have these beautiful little plants, we'll have seed again for that, and we won't have that lost. So that's pretty much what this is for. This whole little greenhouse is for growing things out for seed, or for propagating plants, to grow bigger, to pot up, or different stuff like that. The same with that. That's Costina lettuce. The same thing as the tatsoi. I was about to lose the seed variety, that's the variety of lettuce, and I planted all of those. I planted about right over there. Flats. I have different size flats for planting different things. I'll explain that in another video. But for the lettuce, we plant them in the smallest little flats. It's about 125 cells for planting lettuce. And out of all of those flats that I planted 4. No, I actually planted 2 flats, I believe. Around 2 flats of Costina lettuce, and I only had these less than 10 Costina plants survive. So that would let me know that I'm about to lose that variety. So instead of going and planting it to eat, planting it to sell, I just planted it in the ground, and it's growing pretty nicely. And then this summer it's going to go to seed, and then I'll have seed for that. That's how you save your seed for future generations and planting, and you don't lose your seed variety. Just a little tip right there. The same as that right there. That's kale. I I hadn't been growing kale or most leafy greens for a while, so I was about to lose a lot of that. And I'm growing that in pots so that when it goes to seed, instead of it being in the ground and it being right in here in the greenhouse next to the top soy, instead of having to worry about it crossing, which it could cross because they're in the same family, coles, I believe they're called coles. I don't have to worry about it crossing. This is in the ground, the kale is in the pot, and I can easily take out the pot, move it about not a mile, that would be ideal, but move it a good distance away from this area, and I don't have to worry as much about it cross-pollinating. So that's why I do that and have these in pots. This is Brussels sprouts, the same thing. If I had the Brussels sprouts together with the kale and I wanted to save seed, I'd have Brussels kale, and I don't know how that would be, so I don't really want to find out either. I just prefer to have Brussels sprouts and kale. It doesn't hurt either to have different varieties mixed up, but it doesn't really always go that well. All of this is propagating boxes right in the greenhouse. So pretty much that's what this little greenhouse is for. You see the tables here, and this spring, and actually a few weeks, it'll be full of planting trays. So that's what this small greenhouse is for. I'm about to come to a close on this tour. It's a lot of talking. I don't want to bore anybody, but I hope you guys like the videos, and we'll see you next time.